Hi, I'm Jillian, and welcome to the AI Firestarter series, where we learn to work with AI consciously. Just like our ancestors learned fire safety, we're learning how to harness AI's power without getting burned. This isn't about becoming AI experts, it's about conscious partnership with powerful tools. AI is like fire. It's powerful, it's transformational, but if you sit too close to it, you're going to get burned. For most of us, using generative AI feels like we're cave people discovering fire for the first time. And yes, it's natural to blame the fire when it spirals out of control. But here's what changed everything. Our ancestors stopped yelling at the fire and started learning to work with it. They developed fire wisdom. They didn't become experts in molecule combustion, but they did learn how to recognize it, respect it, and understand when it was around. You don't need a PhD in chemistry to know when something's too hot to touch. What you need is awareness and basic safety skills. That's what we need with AI, not expertise, but wisdom, not worship or fear, conscious partnership. Because the real danger isn't the fire, it's losing ourselves in the heat. So here's the first rule: humility. We are the cave people of AI learning to handle the flame. The question isn't whether AI is dangerous, but whether we learn to use it wisely. So let's start by spotting the risks, keeping AI accountable, and learning the simple prompts that make it an ally. Let's first start by examining the risks. Like a crazy stoner, AI sometimes hallucinates. I call this the Uncle Eddie factor. You love Uncle Eddie at Thanksgiving dinner on Christmas morning, but he's a bit, well, wacky, a little odd, and sounds sincere, almost convincing. Some things he says has a layer of truth, but yet it's wrapped in imaginary nonsense. So, for example, Uncle Eddie might drop a bombshell like, the moon landing wasn't real. It was filmed in a Hollywood studio. You might roll your eyes, but then he doubles down with, but that's nothing. The CIA sent me to Mars. You listen politely. You maybe nod your head from time to time, but you certainly know Uncle Eddie didn't go to Mars, nor will you invest your life savings in building a taco stand up there with him. Why? Because you know it's Uncle Eddie's pure, imaginative stoner nonsense. That's exactly how AI works sometimes. It sounds authoritative and mixes real information with complete fabrications. And if you're not paying attention, you might believe everything it says. So here's the Uncle Eddie rule: listen for the wisdom, but always verify the facts. Don't dismiss everything Uncle Eddie says. He occasionally drops gems, but when he starts talking about moon landing studio shots, you know to check your sources. But hallucinations aren't the only issue. AI has a sneakier flaw. It's a people pleaser. Trained on millions of conversations where being agreeable got rewarded, it learned to avoid conflict and tell you what it thinks you want to hear. Remember the story of the emperor has no clothes? Everyone went along with it, falling under mass hypnosis. That is until one child blurted out the truth. The emperor is not wearing any clothes. So here's the emperor rule: use discernment. Be the kid in the crowd. That's why your gut check matters. AI is like the crowd, nodding along, eager to please, avoiding conflict. The lesson: don't silence the small voice within. Here's another quirk you should know about. AI is a mirror. It reflects back what you project. If you feed it nonsense, it will hand it right back to you. For example, I ran a test in the chat GPT. I told it that unicorns were real and you can measure their intelligence by the size of the horn. It even provided me with a recipe to activate my creative genius by drinking unicorn juice formula. Since it knows my concern about the environment, it suggested that I use ethically sourced rainbow concentrate so that no rainbows would be harmed in the process. Later, AI and I held a long discussion about a unicorn's preferred diet, and we agreed that if a unicorn doesn't have the time to nibble clovers in the field, then the alternative route is using the premium feed found at the local grocery store. So here's the mirror rule. AI will confidently polish your nonsense until it shines. Self-awareness is key. What you feed the mirror determines what it reflects. Garbage in, gospel out if you sound sure enough. The lesson: don't believe everything the mirror says. So if AI can spin wild stories like Uncle Eddie, play the suck up to make you feel good, and mirror unicorns offering you magic potions, how do you keep it honest? That's where AI fire safety comes in. 5 quick prompts you can use every time. That child in The Emperor Has No Clothes represents your inner knowing, the small voice that can spot when something doesn't feel right, even when the response sounds impressive. When AI tells you your questionable idea is brilliant or validates obviously flawed thinking, that's your moment to be the child who sees clearly. Don't silence that inner voice just because AI sounds confident. The fire alarm prompt to AI is: give me 3 reasons this response might be wrong, misleading, or missing context. Be brutally honest. Like Uncle Eddie's tall tales, some answers are smoke and mirrors. Prompt AI with something like: if I act on this advice, what are the risks or downsides? When you're around a fire, you contain it. You don't let it burn out of control. Same goes with AI. Don't let it become a yes man. The prompt: give me a counterpoint. Argue against this idea. Just know, if AI can't handle dissent, it isn't safe to use. Every fire needs fuel. Every claim needs a source. If none are provided, ask what's uncertain or unverifiable. Here's the prompt. What parts of this answer rely on assumptions or missing evidence? Every fire needs inspection. Before you trust what AI builds, run the fire marshal test. The prompt: what would a critic say? How might someone challenge or tear apart this answer? These 5 prompts are quick to use, but they change the dynamic. Instead of blind agreement, you get a sharper reflection. And that's how AI becomes an ally, not a liability. If you want to go deeper into using modern tools for the ancient journey within, I've created a 5-part email series that gives you the full framework. The link is in the description below. Hit subscribe to join me in learning conscious navigation in an unconscious world.